want to show you how to weld this heart bracelet. It's become very, very popular in high demand, and this principle works for many soldered rings of all shapes. So I hope you will find this video useful. Before I get started, I want to tell you that I'm in love with these bubble heart connectors. I mocked this up for a bracelet, but certainly I'm thinking I could add a connector here, or if it was a necklace, that could be a pendant, and I can do a Y necklace, but that's another project and for another video. So right now, I also have this, finally came in. These are cubic zirconia connectors that are double-sided, so it's not pointy on one side. They're comfortable to wear. And I'm thinking whether or not I want to have this on the side so that to add to my collection with a little bit of color. I think I'm going to do that just as a demo. And I hope you like this. Okay, let's get started. I like using 24 gauge jump rings, and these are 3mm, and they really work for any chain. If you want, you can use 4mm. It's not really noticeable. Although I have a chain, this is a remnant, I would always suggest for you not to cut the chain beforehand. It just so happens that I have a piece left over that I'm going to use for this video. The reason is you want to test out how long and make sure that it drapes the way that the customer wants before you cut it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect this, and then I will mock it up. Make sure that I'm still happy. Yeah, like this. So I'm going to mock this up, and then I'm going to weld this first and then work on the other part. And I always say, should always use 2 pairs of pliers to make sure that it's closed properly. Okay. I like that very much. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna weld this first. And I always say, as much as possible, weld away from the hand of the client, and do the last one together, only because sometimes it takes a bit of time for adjusting, and you don't want the person to be stretched out there waiting. Okay, so I have this, and I've set it at 7.5 watts. Okay, so I've got that, and I know that worked only from experience, but you should always check to make sure that you cannot break it open. And you don't have to do it too hard so that you warp the ring, but you want it secure enough, hard enough that it doesn't snap open. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing for the other ring. Oops. So that's one of the problems of filming not under the glass. I can barely see it, and I move my hand because I close my eyes. Okay, there. want to check that again. And I check by holding on to either side of the seam and try to twist it. But I always try to make it go back so that it's flat. And we're good. So now we're ready to mock up. Normally it's really easy if I had a volunteer or a model here, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hold on to this, and I think I want it to fall here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to put this through. If I had someone else here, I would have just gone this side and would have been able to do it very easily. So I've mocked this up, and pretend that you have a long chain. This is good. Then you can thereafter cut it. We'll do this very carefully. It's harder when you're doing it with one hand by yourself. Okay, so this is where I want this bracelet to hang in relation to my other bracelets that I've got a growing selection of. Now I'm ready to weld this part. Okay, so I'm going to clip on this ring to make sure I can see the seam. And it's a little bit harder with one hand, but we're gonna get it done. And I see it. Let's see if I can get focus. Wait. Okay. I think I got that. Anyway, I can't use 2 pairs of pliers to check, but there I have it. I'm going to check a little later with the help of my friends, and this is the finished product. I really like it, and it goes with my collection. I hope you found that to be useful. All of the components in this video and many of the others that I have filmed, I wholesale online. I'm going to put more information below for that, as well as the Orion Micro Welder Impulse that I've used.